Hi, today I'm gonna talk about harmonizing. What is harmonizing? Basically, it's when you play a melody and then you play kind of the same melody simultaneously, but starting from another note. The result sounds pretty interesting. On one hand, you have two melodic lines. On the other hand, those melodies are connected. They are like shifted versions of each other. And because of this, it doesn't sound like two different melodies, more like one melody played in an interesting way. The most common way to harmonize melodic lines is to play in thirds. That is, your melodies are shifted at third interval. But why does it work? Well, in simple words, chords are built in thirds, right? So when you play two melodic lines like that, when you play a chord tone in one voice, you also play a chord tone in second voice. And when you play a passing tone in one voice, you play a passing tone in second voice. Thus you have a coherence, both voices sound connected. So question number 1. What thirds should you use? Minor thirds? Major thirds? The answer is both. It depends on your scale. You can think about harmonizing the thirds in 3 ways. Let me use some simple melodic line like this. Now, the first way to go relies on your knowledge of scales. For example, in this case I'm using a minor scale. And I know that in natural minor scale I have 4 minor thirds and 3 major thirds. I have major thirds on 3rd, 6th and 7th degrees of this scale. So here I have 1st degree, 2nd degree and 3rd degree. Thus I know that I have to use minor thirds and then a major third. The second way to think of it also requires knowledge of your scale, but this time we're interested in fretboard knowledge rather than in intervallic structure of the scale. Basically, you start 3rd higher and then you play the same melody but using notes corresponding to your scale. So I know that for the natural minor scale I have to use those notes. Now I look at my melody. It's 1 step up, 2 steps down. Now I'm playing from this note. I play 1 step up, 1 step up, 2 steps down. So you can see that it's kind of the same melody, but not exactly the same, because I'm using only notes from the minor scale. I'm not repeating the melody exactly. It sounds like this. It could work in another context, but not in the minor. Let's take another example. Let's play something like this. First degree, 2 steps up, step down, 3 steps up, step down, step up, and repeat. Now we're starting 3rd higher, 2 steps up, step down, 3 steps up, step down, step up, repeat. So we're repeating the same melody in terms of degrees, in terms of steps. In other words, absolute intervals like semitones, whole tones would be different, but relative intervals would be the same, like seconds and thirds, and that's how it sounds. The third way to do it is just using your ears, and the more you practice, the more you actually would use this method without thinking about intervals or scale structure. Now, the second question is, though this method is called harmonizing the thirds, do you have to use thirds only? And the answer is no. It depends on the sound you want to achieve. The most common situation when you want to use another interval is when you play 5th degree of a scale. Now the problem here is that if you build a third interval from 5th degree, you will end up on 7th degree. And now I have a choice. If you want to highlight that minor 7th sound, you might keep it as it is. But you might want to get that minor triad sound. And in that case you use 4th instead of 3rd. The choice is up to you. Here's an example of how it sounds when you play 3rd or 4th over the same chord. Once again, it depends on what sound you want to achieve. And you can actually use both ways in one and the same song. So after some practice, you will start doing harmonizing automatically without thinking, just keeping the sound in mind. I hope this video was helpful. Bye!